Good afternoon, all of you. So, the topic for today is the classification of financial system. So, here when you just talk about the classification of financial system, this classification can be classified into two major categories. One is the organized financial system and unorganized financial system. So, in organized financial system, there are regulators, financial institutions, financial markets, and financial services. In unorganized financial system, there are money lenders, local bankers, traders, landlords, pawnbrokers, chit funds. Let us discuss the topic in detail. The same thing I have written here. When you talk about the organized financial system, it is a financial system which is governed and controlled by the government of India and its regulatory bodies. It includes the following. See here, when you talk about organized system, here each and every activities of this organized financial system is governed, looked after and controlled by the government of India, and there are some of the regulatory bodies which are been looking after each and every activity of a particular sector. So let us understand the first topic here. First point, that is what regulators are. Market regulators is a body appointed under the act passed by the government in the parliament to regulate the work. In India, we have specific authorities to regulate each sector. There are each in every sector, there are regulatory bodies, like some of them are, like there is a Reserve Bank of India, which is looking after the businesses of private and government banks in our country, which is preparing rules and regulations for government as well as the private banks in our country. Coming to the next, Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is controlling all the stock exchanges in our country, like BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Over the Counter Exchange of India, like Bangalore Stock Exchange, Coimbatore Stock Exchange, Ahmedabad Stock Exchange, Kozhikode Stock Exchange. There are a number of stock exchanges in our country, which is which has been looked by the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and it also look after the brokers who are being part of the stock exchanges. When you talk about IRDA, IRDA is a body which is looking after insurance business in our country, private as well as the government insurance companies, which is a watchdog for the insurance. And there is a Ministry of Finance that is directly been reporting to the Prime Minister of our country, which is being controlled by the Finance Minister of our country, which is also looking after the financial aspects in our country. These are all regulatory bodies which prepare the rules and regulations for the financial activities in our country. So coming to the next point is a financial institution. This topic we already discussed. These are those institutions that focus on dealing with financial transactions such as investment, loan, deposits, etc. Financial institutions are composed of banks, insurance companies, investment dealers, etc. Example, commercial banks, Citibank, Exim Bank. This financial institutions refers to those institutions which are being dealing with financial institutions, and the financial institution has been part of the financial institution. So coming to the next point here. So when you talk about the financial markets, financial market is a marketplace in which people and entities can trade financial securities at low transactional costs. Securities which are traded are stocks, bonds, debentures. Financial market is a market which is being opened for primary and secondary market, where major portion the securities are being dealt. Coming to the next point, financial services. It refers to the services provided by financial intermediaries. Intermediaries refers to the middlemen, which provide the broad range of financial products and services, which include banks, credit card companies, consumer finance, stock brokerage, investment funds, etc. are being part of the financial services. There are two types of financial services: fee based and fund based. Coming to the unorganized market. When you talk about unorganized market, it is a financial system which is not governed by the government of India, but it is being present in the market. So it has been not looked after by the government of India, but it has been prevailing in the market for the convenience of the people. They have been opening this kind of market. There are some unorganized market. It includes money lenders. Money lender is a person who is lending the money. A money lender is a person or a group who offer loan to the people and businesses with high rate of interest. You might have been seen some of the people who are been offering loans with high rate of interest. They are not been asked or controlled by the government of India. Never the government of India tells them this percentage has to be given, that percentage has to be given. A common person who has been lending money on interest is considered to be a money lender. Next comes local bankers. They were very common earlier. A local banker is a person who conducts the business of banking. One is a member of a company who keeps an establishment for deposits or loan and for bills of exchange. It's similarly like a local, it functions like banks. Nowadays they are very uncommon because all those banks have been closed. Similarly, in small towns and villages, there were people who were having their own banks. They were offering loan. They used to keep deposits and all, similar to a bank. Next comes, there is something called traders. Trader is a person or an entity in finance who buys and sells financial instruments. A trader can be a person who is buying and selling the financial instruments such as stocks, commodities. And there are some traders they also help in providing finance to facilitate the financial market. They are providing loans to the people who are interested in buying and selling of financial products. These are called to be traders. Coming to the next point here, landlords. A landlord is a owner of a house, apartment, land or real estate which is rented to an individual or business who helps in facilitating financial requirements. Here, as a landlord, he is not providing any loan. Instead, he has been providing the space where he can be providing a apartment or land or building for rent purpose for facilitating the financial market. Indirectly, it is also helping to the development of financial market, that is for running the organization or a company. Next, there is something called pawn brokers or pledge. A pawnbroker is an individual or business that offers loans to the people with items of personal property used as a collateral by pledge. So here when you pawnbroker, when you talk about pawnbroker, what he does is he takes something in pledge or something in a security, like you can give some gold or you can give your vehicle as a security. When you repay back the loan, you will be getting back the security that what you have been provided. It's very much common, like providing a cell phone or providing a vehicle. It's very much common. After you repay back the loan, the property which has been pledged, that has been given back. Next is a chit fund. The last is, it's very much common. You might have in Chiti, Vyavara, all these things been called. A chit fund is a kind of saving scheme practice in India, in which a person enters into agreement with specific members of person, where people where every one of them shall subscribe a certain sum of money by the way of monthly or periodical installment over a definite period of time. Each member in his term as dedicate a lot or by a auction. So there is an auction or there is a chit. There is a chit being taken, in that the name, whomsoever the name comes, that person is being given. Each and every member of that particular chit fund contributes certain amount, and that is being taken by each and every member. This helps in solving the problem of the society, but it is also it is not a legal kind of thing, because it has not been practiced by the government of India. That is what it is told, as these are all part of the non-government activities. They are called as an unorganized financial system. Fine then, thanks a lot.